run away with me. Leave it all behind.
I grew up in Arizona, and I was just so surprised that there's so many incredible producers and makers. Tucson has always been a food destination, so I really was excited to really understand what makes it so special and why these ingredients are so important.
Get lifted when we lose it all.
This is an edible walking tour. So
that is my favorite kind of tour.
What it actually is an agricultural museum. We grow things to show how things used to grow historically, all the different historical periods that represent the history of Arizona. This is a Mayo melon. It's a watermelon.
Yeah.
You want to cut that in half?
No.
Just take a That is watermelon at its best.
People around us singing loud. It's just
What kind of salsa are we making?
Pico de gallo.
And then these are just dried chilies?
Those are ancho chilies.
Oh, it's so nice. Okay.
You ready?
I mean,
I
yes,
like it.
I'm gonna
It's
eat
got
the
a
rest
lot
of
of,
it.
yeah.
And this is the Cuban sunset or sunrise?
Cuban sunset.
Okay, got it.
For some, it might be Cuban sunrise. I don't know. This is one of the most biodiverse regions in the United States. It's because everything has to change and adapt. If you eat some of the dishes from this region, you could be anywhere in the world with your eyes closed, but you know where those foods came from. We have a lot of really creative and imaginative chefs here who are doing wonderful things with the raw products. And so that creates this culinary culture.
We've been for 21 years at this property. It's got a really rich history. It was originally a ranch school for girls.
Oh,
It started
cool.
in 1929. It's got a great sense of place. You can tell by the gardens and the care that's put into it. Still a little roughness of the desert, because
Right.
we like that. It is a desert oasis here in Tucson. We're really delighted that the city's been honored with the UNESCO designation as a World City of Gastronomy. I think that's spectacular for our chefs and all the chefs around town that have really been supporting.
Bienvenidos, Emily. Our restaurant is celebrating its 94th year.
Wow.
We're the oldest Mexican restaurant, continuous operation in the state by the same family. It is really important for us to pass down traditional dishes. These ingredients are indigenous to this area. They have been around for years, and the Native American people from this area use many of these foods to sustain themselves. And I think that's one of the things that really made Tucson so special about this award that they were given from UNESCO, is because so many of the foods are not foods that had to be brought in, they're foods that are here.
Oh my goodness.
You see, that's honey right there. Honey comes from flowers. And there's at least 100 species of flowering plants, if not 200, on the property alone. And each of those flowers is going to give an entirely distinctly flavored honey that's unique to that plant.
It's incredible how different it is from the first one.
Honey is at least as sensitive to place and time as wine is. And these are all from the Tucson area. And different places, even just a few miles apart, will give you a radically different honey. Those honeys taste as different as they look. But the point is to show people where their food comes from. The point is to involve the community in the act of actually growing and harvesting the food and engage people with where their food comes from.
So a couple of things make us unique. One is the use of mesquite to dry malt. So we're basically using a Scottish model to make Sonoran Desert single malt whiskey. Whiskey Del Bac Dorado is the brainchild of the whole project.
You can immediately smell the mesquite. It's really so nice. It smells like Arizona.
we can be in this crowd. Feel the music.
Everyone who we met just seemed not only connected to their family, but to the land and the food, and they just really wanted to share that with everyone.
Do you think we could lose control?